everyone, it's Danielle from the library. Thanks for tuning in for our Monday evening cooking demo. I thought that tonight we would prepare something in preparation for all the vegetables that hopefully a lot of you have growing in your garden, and we are going to make our own salsa. All right, so for this salsa, you are going to want a 48-ounce can of tomatoes. You could also use your own fresh ones. Lime juice, salt, cumin, a small white onion, 3 to 4 cloves of garlic. We like garlic in our house a lot, so we're using 4. 1 to 2 jalapenos, and a handful or 2, no thank you Grace, a handful or 2 of cilantro. So we have prepped our ingredients. When we add the can of tomatoes, we're going to leave the juice.
Yep.
I did put the garlic through a garlic press because I want to make sure it's very evenly distributed. I peeled and rough chopped my onion. My jalapeno I cut up and also deveined and took the seeds out. We don't want it to be super spicy. My kids don't like spicy salsa.
Really spicy.
So everything is kind of ready to start to go in. And in a second here, I'm going to let my favorite future librarians help me. I'm going to start by adding the juice, or rather the tomatoes and the juice, because that's kind of messy.
Can I help?
You can do next stuff. It does help if you put things in like largest to smallest. It just seems to blend better. I'm using a food processor. You could also use a decent blender. I think that would work fine. Okay, so Matthew, do you want to add our onions?
Sure. What am I
so
gonna
do? I'll give you the next thing.
What do I add in?
Just the onions. Just plop them in. So this you may recognize as Spider-Man, who starred in our video. Grace, could you please add our jalapenos?
What are those?
The green things right there in front of, yep. They're spicy, so when you're done, why don't you go rinse your hands so you don't end up rubbing your eyes, okay? Matthew, do you want to dump the garlic in?
It's dumping time.
It's dumping time.
Hey, and my name's Peter.
Your name's Peter, like Peter Parker?
Yeah. You
can use the fork if you want it, if you don't want to use your hand.
Or my hand.
Okay. His hands are clean, right, Matthew?
It's Peter.
Right, Peter Parker?
You always forget my name.
I know. Sorry, Peter. Grace, go ahead and add our cumin. We have a tablespoon of our ground cumin. Flip it upside down, Grace, and dump it in.
Trying to spread it all over the place.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
It does look pretty good. So we are going to add 2 to 3 tablespoons, your preference, of the lime juice. One thing I really love about this recipe is you can totally make it and it tastes great. Dump it in, Grace, with convenience ingredients like what I'm largely using. But it's also great if you have fresh stuff. It tastes even better.
When are we going to shred it?
Pretty soon. Hey, could one of you please take the salt and grind some of the salt in?
I will.
Grace, Matthew just said he'd like to. No, you got to grind it. You got to twist it. So you're going to add salt to taste.
Yeah.
I think typically I end up adding about a tablespoon worth. And then finally, do you guys want to pull off some of the cilantro leaves and put those in?
Sure.
You can both do it.
Which one is cilantro?
That. So you just want the leaf, not the stem. You just pull some of the leafy stuff off. We don't want stem though. Here. I'll help you with that. All right, here's what the food processor looks like with all the ingredients of our salsa.
It's pretty good.
It is looking really good,
Can I hit the
buddy?
button?
Yep. So go ahead and hit the on button. So here it is. It's stirring up for us. Okay, guys. I got it now. Thank you. So I really only ran that for a minute.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's really pretty good already.
I just said yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just going to now just give it a couple quick pulses. I like some larger pieces of onion and so on in mine. So I don't worry about completely liquefying it. just enough so that it's good and mixed. Oh, sounds like I hit something solid. Maybe it needs to go for another minute. Okay, so I'm thinking this is good. Look at that. It is so good. It's got great texture. Obviously,
It's looking pretty good.
it is looking pretty good, Matthew. I mean, Spider-Man. Obviously, you know, this is great with tortilla chips, but we actually like to use it on salad as well. It's good on baked potatoes. There's all sorts of yummy things you can use it for. Yep. So my recommendation is going to be to refrigerate it for about an hour before serving. It gets even better if it's been chilled for a while. Enjoy if you give this salsa a try, especially if you make it with your own fresh ingredients. Please post a picture in the comments. Have a good night.